Good morning, traders. It is Thursday, June 27th. Taking a look at the charts, we got the SP 500 daily chart. Market's been pulling back. We came up to poke to a nominal new high and got a little overextended to the upside. And now we're having a nice little pullback. And the big question is, are we going to get some traction here and bounce higher? Or are we going to move back down towards the 50 and the 200 day, which is a support level through this previous consolidation, obviously this previous high and some other consolidations back in time. So we'll see how things start to unfold here. Overall, the market is short term. It's a viable pullback at this point. Still, it's had a rally, bull flag, and we'll see if it has a little more of a complex pullback, meaning we get an A, we get a B, a C down into these moving averages, and then from there it could potentially go back to these highs and go back above. That's what we're looking for at this point. The trend is up, so we are looking to buy the dips. Now, overall, we are seeing some interesting price action going on. Take a look at XLU yesterday. Utilities are typically seen as a safe haven. If we go back in time here, when we saw the big sell-off from October to December, we saw utilities move up and outperform exceptionally well. Other than the big panic selling, the heavy volume selling, the last little bit of December completely crushed the market. But overall, when the stock market sold off, utilities went higher. And we're kind of getting into this point here where utilities have been going higher. Fearful money's been moving in, and now we're starting to see some big money move out of utilities. And we're seeing gold pull back as well, which is also seen as the safe haven. If money is moving out of those safe havens, the big question is, where are they going? Where's that money going to flow to next? And we could see the stock market potentially find this bottom here that we're looking for and start to rally higher as money rotates out of the overbought safe havens and into the risk on stock plays. Now, if we take a look over at gold, here's gold trading up at this resistance area. We talked about how it's going to be a volatile week with some big intraday swings, more or less pushed all the way up, came back down, hasn't closed above this resistance area, continuing to show more weakness today, down over 0.5%. Miners down as well. That's part of it is not only it's trading at resistance and overbought, and it also hit a Fibonacci 100% measured move, but the dollar is putting in that bounce that we talked about. The dollar hit support and had its measured move to the downside. As the dollar bounces, we're going to see metals pull back. And the big question is, are we going to see the metals here find support at the 5-day? Can it hold on, or is it going to drop and we're going to see this come back down to 1380, 1360 maybe, going to the downside? Now, there was a huge feeding frenzy up here. Everyone getting pretty darn excited about it. It was usually the sign that the market's going to pull back. So I do feel as though we're going to see a little bit more of a pullback. The last time we had that same signal here was right back over here, where we got long right down in here, and we got out right here on this day over here. And then we saw this big push up and huge excitement in the market. And of course, that is a resistance area in the chart. And then we saw a quick pullback, and it put in a much larger bull flag. This is a beautiful bull flag. And now we've got that second measured move to the upside. And we got all that hype here again, just like we saw right over here. We could very much so see this consolidate, put in some type of bull flag, and before it goes really much higher. Now, if we take a look over at, let's take a look over at platinum. Platinum's been underperforming. It's carving out this bottom. It's trading down near these lows from all the way back in earlier last year. It really hasn't popped or moved to the upside yet. It looks like it's trying to build a base and potentially start to pop out to the upside. It's kind of one of those metals that just hasn't really taken off yet. I feel as though we could see something like this where we get potential quick pop in the market. It's putting in this these little basing formations right across here. We got some rising lows, so there is some buying accumulation going on, and I think we're close to a little bit of a pop in the market. We also have the 200-day, the 50-day, all trading above there as well. So there's going to be a little bit of resistance as it gets up there. But I am expecting we're going to see money kind of look for that safe haven play that hasn't moved yet, and that looks to be more or less platinum. Taking a look over at miners real quick, GDX, again, trading up overbought. It's getting into these really extreme volatile times, much like over here, again, right over here. Really carried this whole volatile time carried over here for a top, but we're getting into that type of price action again. Price could continue to be very volatile. We could see it continue to chop up and sell back down and put in a larger volatility top, but overall it's showing signs that it's overdone, it's at resistance, and needs some type of pause or pullback to kind of get energy for the next launch going forward. Looking over at the dollar real quick, you can see the dollar finding support down here again. Fibonacci downside target. If we take the high down to this low and the reaction high, carry it forward, you can see we came right down to this target move and starting to put in a bounce. The dollar is relatively flat today. It was actually trading up quite a bit more this morning, but it's pulled back. But overall, this is nothing more at this point than a technical bounce. It hit this level. It's having a little bounce. It's flirting with the 5-day. The 5-day tends to be a high momentum type of move that if the dollar is going to continue to sell off in a big way, it should reverse more or less down today and take off. But I do feel as though we're going to see the dollar still hold up. It's still got a lot of upward momentum. This is a nice three-wave correction I talked about before. We got a nice A, B, C, and we could see this continue to move up and potentially still go to higher highs at this point, which would keep metals under wraps for a while and create that larger multi-month bull flag that could still form in the metals market. Looking over at natural gas, up 0.8%, chopping around, still holding up a really nice little tight formation here. We had a big reversal day to the upside. It's been having these tight little bars. It's trading at the 5-day. It looks like it's primed and ready for a pop to the upside. If we were to throw just a simple Fibonacci target on there, we've got, we'll go from a couple different lows here. I like to always create a zone where resistance should be. You've got a low, we've got, we'll go over here, a high, and then we got a low, carry it forward. And then if we go from the day that the big up green day, we can draw another Fibonacci extension from there to the high, down to this low, carry it forward. And it gives us our target areas where we could see natural gas run. It's going to have an upside target box here. It's going to have another upside target box up here. So that's where we could potentially see natural gas rally up, pull back, and then here's its first move, and then up to its second target, which happens to be right into this previous resistance high in the market. And if this is more of a significant base, if it breaks this level, then we're going all the way up to the 255 area. So we're in position for this tight little bull flag to continue up to hit these little targets. And depending how things go, we could even potentially remove our second stop and give a much more room for a runner back up to this next resistance area going forward. Looking at crude oil, down 0.7%. It's flirting with these moving averages. It put in this nice double bottom right here. We put in a nice double bottom formation. It started to break out above this high. Typically the depth from the top of the W to the bottom of the W is where the breakout target is, and that's more or less where we are. And you can see here we've got 2 days. We got the 200-day, the 50-day. Price is kind of stuck there, but overall the trend is still up. It is holding above this 5-day moving average, and it's a high momentum play at this point, and we could potentially see crude move at any point to that 62 target to the upside if we get a pop in a move. Obviously, it's flirting with this resistance area right across here that once it breaks, there should be enough power for it to quickly unwind within a day, a 1-day potential move, and get right up to that 62 target. At that point, I think we're into some much larger resistance, and we could see a bigger pullback going forward. Really, that's about it for today. We got into 2 positions yesterday, long SSO, expecting the equities market to move higher, and we got into natural gas long, looking for that to move higher, and we'll keep our eyes open for some new trades. But markets are on the flirting here at resistance and support zones, so we're just waiting for the market to really start to pick up some traction. We'll be looking for some more trades here in the next couple of days. That's it for now. Take care. Bye-bye.